So we're going to start lying down. So if you want to play the playlist, you can just let Vicky in. You can put that on now. And then you'll come to lie down on your mat. Just let your eyes close there and find your breath. And so we'll start lying down on your back. And if you want to play the music, you can start the playlist. You're going to lie on your back and bring your palms together and just start to rub your hands together. Rub your hands together until you feel some warmth between the palms. And then you're going to place your hands over your heart. Place your hands over your heart. So we are going to be focusing on that Anahata chakra. So if you came to Saturday's class, that's been our focus, the next chakra. I think last week in this session we did the Manipura, so just below, and we're making our way up. Anahata chakra around your heart space. Gives that sense of love, of connection, also of self-healing. And can be a really powerful practice when you connect from your heart, your intention to let go of things you no longer need to hold on to. So we're allowing our practice today to start to bring our intentions up and start to ask yourself the question of what you'd like to manifest in your life, what you'd like to invite in. Allowing that answer to come from your heart, not to come from what you think you should be doing right now, but what you really, truly want and need. And that might not come straight away, that's okay. But we use the practice to start to open up and find connection there. Just bring the palms again together and rub your hands together till you feel that energy between the hands and that warmth, heat. And then you'll place them over your belly in that Manipura, so just on your navel center. And we often think of this space as kind of like core strength or strength in the center. And that personal power. And we know from last week that Manipura chakra kind of relates to feelings of confidence, courage. Both of those things we need as we move up into the heart space and make intentions that will come to fruition. We need that personal power, that personal strength and courage. So as always, allowing your practice to be a real personal one to you. So making sure you listen to your body. Beginning with now and finding your intention for yourself and allowing that to be a true intention from your heart. So let your arms come out now and away from your body with your palms facing up. Remind yourself to really relax your legs and soften the front and backs of the legs, the feet. As you lie on your back and just allow the ground to hold you there. Start to connect to your breath and allow yourself to just drift into the present moment now. So your inhale, your exhale, just as it's happening. It's when we start to find that inner awareness, we can find more clarity, more understanding, more self-love. So this practice really allowing you to slow right down. Just giving yourself space and time to connect, to open up. As you let your breath come into this present moment, bringing your mind there. Just start to recognize where you are in your life right now. Open your heart to all the things that have brought you to this moment now. Bring the hands together and rub your palms again. Create that warmth. Place your hands once again on your belly over your navel center, just for a couple of breaths there. A gentle reminder of your inner power, inner strength. And then we'll again bring the palms together, rub your hands. Place your hands over your heart, again just for a few breaths. Okay, and then you're going to reach your arms up and over your head. Stretch your arms up and away from you. Reach your toes away. And feeling that strength, that energy all the way from the fingertips to the toes, really reaching, opening up, opening out. And then bring your knees in towards you and hug your knees in. We're just gently going to roll over to the side, and you're going to come onto your belly. You'll be lying on your belly. And just as you were just doing on your back, with your arms up and over your head, you're going to do the same thing but on your belly. So you're reaching your arms out in front of you, facing down. Your legs out behind you. So feeling the full length of your body as you reach through the fingers, reach through the toes. And then stop reaching and just allow your body to soften. Whole front of your body supported. Okay. We're going to slowly start to make our way into our first pose, and that's going to be Sphinx pose. So you don't need any props here. Unless you want to, you can roll up a blanket underneath your hip bones if you want to. So you're lying on top of a blanket, or you might have, if you've got a bolster or a pillow, you might have that behind your elbows. So obviously I can't lie on my belly now, so I'm having the pillow underneath my hip, so I've got space in my belly, but you don't need to do that. Instead, you could have the pillow right behind your elbows here. But I want you to make sure you've got your palms face down, your elbows underneath your shoulders. Okay, and we're actually going to be a bit more active today and press down through the forearms and the palms. Keep length through the neck so you're not craning your head up. Your gaze is forward just between your thumbs. And then see if you can draw your tailbone towards your heels and draw your belly up towards your spine. So thinking about that Manipura chakra area around your belly and that inner strength, drawing that in towards the spine. Tailbone drops down. And then just see if you can feel the heart move forward as you draw your shoulders back. So a bit more active here. We're only going to stay for 2 minutes. Keep breathing. Eyes closed. So we know we hold the yin poses for longer than we do in the flow side. And that can sometimes from the outside look like it might be simpler, or it might be less challenging. But actually, sometimes staying and being still and being with your thoughts can be most challenging of all. Allowing your heart to open to those thoughts. And to keep reminding yourself to breathe into the now, into the present moment. That can be the challenge, to stay, to feel sensation and to stay with it. We have this habit of kind of closing ourselves off. And that's good in a way to protect ourselves, but we also need to open up a little bit more. to feel things and then to let them go. And last minute. And then really slowly you'll start to turn the hands towards the elbows so that your forearms on top of each other. Let your forehead rest on the forearms. Let your legs relax and allow your heels to roll out to the sides. So toes are in and heels are out. Your low back really releases. Give yourself the opportunity to really let go. Let your breath soften. Let yourself feel. Okay, and then we're going to slowly start to make our way back up. For the second round, and you can either carry on, so we're straight into the heart opening, this practice. You can either carry on with Sphinx, the same as we did to begin with elbows underneath the shoulders, palms straight out from there. You might change the arms and keep the elbows underneath the shoulders, keep both elbows underneath the shoulders, but turn the palms out to a diagonal. Turn the palms out to a diagonal. Okay. You might stay here. Some of you might push into the palms, lift the elbows up off the ground. So you're coming into seal pose. And we've got 2 minutes here, so make sure you're not, shaking to hold this pose and it's not too intense, but you're finding that Goldilocks version that's just enough. So it's fine to keep the elbows down if you need. Can you relax into your glute muscles or relax your bum? Still think about gently drawing your navel towards your spine. So you've got that strength in your center. And still think about drawing the shoulders down and the heart forward. Resist the urge to fidget or move once you're there. See if you can stay, even if it feels more intense as time goes on. Breathe into it. Notice where you feel the sensation the most. And feel it and breathe. Okay, you'll really slowly start to lower the elbows down if they're up. Slide the hands in towards opposite elbows, and again lie your forehead down on top. The head rests through center. Heels come out to the side, toes in. We'll slowly make our way back up again. And the same thing, you can choose to be in your Sphinx pose again. Elbows underneath the shoulders. We might turn the palms out on a diagonal of 45 degrees. Push into the palms, and you're going to look over your right shoulder. Look over your right shoulder. You can bend more into that left elbow if you need. And you can do the same thing in Cobra with your elbow, or Sphinx with your elbows under your shoulders. Look over the right shoulder. Okay, so wherever you are, we're not going to be here for too long, don't worry. Keep dropping that right shoulder down. All right, stay here for this one. Find that Goldilocks position for you, and just another half a minute here. Really notice more breath down that left side or space. And we'll come back to center slowly. Stay there in center just for a breath. And then come to look over the left shoulder when you're ready. Just feel the breath in the space around your heart, but also feel kind of opening up in the upper and the mid-back. Find that sense of freedom through the breath. Okay, we'll come back towards center just for a breath in and a breath out. And then we're slowly going to start to bring ourselves up. So you might have your hands underneath your shoulders now. So you push yourself all the way back to child's pose. You'll stay on your knees. You can let your forehead rest on the ground or on a block if you have one, or a pillow. Have your knees out as wide as you can comfortably go. And any variation with your arms that feels good. For a minute here, maybe arms reaching forward or arms reaching back. Just again be aware of where you might feel tension that you're holding on to. Coming back to that idea of what you'd like to manifest in your life, what you'd like to invite in. As we think about letting go of tension in your body, where can you create some more space in your life? Where is maybe blocking you from going where you need to go? Hey, is it an experience that you're holding on to in your heart, or is it something that somebody or you have always told yourself? And the smallest things can take up the biggest space in our hearts and our minds. The smallest things can take up the biggest space. And that goes for positive and negative. So it might just be one sentence that somebody said to you once that's been making you feel heavy, or that you've been carrying with you for a long time. But equally recognize that it might just be one sentence that lifts you up, that gives you the confidence to make that step, make that decision, take that step. And knowing it's full moon today, tonight, maybe that will give you that extra nudge. That it's time to open your heart a little bit more, or to start to let go of any heaviness. If you're feeling full right now, know that the next phase is just around the corner. Ready when you are. Okay, so we're going to stay in child's pose, but you're going to make sure that your arms are reaching all the way forward, as far forward as you can go. And I want you to just spider hand your hands so that you pick the palms up and you just have your fingertips on the ground. Okay, so you can see. You're keeping your knees out really nice and wide. Your head will be floating off the ground as you move your hands over towards the left side. And you'll creep them as far over as you can. Okay, so your head doesn't need to be touching the ground, but you're going to bow your head down. And just breathe there, breathe into that right side. Breathe into the opening up. Okay, we'll come back towards center. Just take a breath there in center. And as you exhale, creep the hands or slide them all the way over to the right and as far over as you can go. Let your head bow down. Okay, and then all the way back to center. Let your palms relax now, reaching the arms forward, let your forehead drop. Your head's going to be supported, whether it's the ground or your block. If you don't have one, hands can come underneath your head as fists stacked one on top of the other. Really settle your low back, release the pelvis down towards the heels. Okay, and then we're slowly going to start to come all the way back up. Okay, you're going to take your left leg out in front of you and keep your right knee hugging in. So the right foot can stay on the floor here, just underneath the knee, or you can step it over the left leg. So you're going to make the twist a deeper one if you step the foot over, or you can keep the foot where it is. It's up to you. And we're going to hug the right knee with the left arm. Bring the right shoulder, right hand back behind you and draw the right shoulder blade back. But instead of looking over your right shoulder, which you might be used to doing, keep the shoulders dropping down and away so you feel this openness through the collarbones and the heart space. Let your left leg relax, the left foot soft. And then we just want to keep the chin and the head in line. So you'll kind of be looking over that towards the right. So I want to keep the spine and all the way up to the top of the head in line, so we're not turning away. And it will vary for all of us about how far we go into the twist. And we'll stay here for another just a minute and a half. If you can find not only the awareness in that center Manipura chakra, but also as you move up to your heart chakra, can you think about the back of your heart and that space being really open? So energy can flow, nothing is being held on to or feeling stuck. Okay, we're slowly going to unwind back to center, and you're going to slide that right leg away from you. Just push into both hands, flex both feet, and lift the top of the head up towards the sky. So you're pressing into your fingertips to help find space in the spine. And then slowly into the other side. So left knee comes up towards you. If you want to step it over, do. Otherwise, keep the left foot there. Turn towards the left. You're hugging your left knee with your right arm. Remember, instead of turning the head away, you might be used to doing, try and keep everything stacking up and chin just gently tucked in so you've got space in the neck. Remind yourself to relax your right leg. So again, if you're used to practicing more active or yang-like postures, then you'll be, everything's active all the time. We want to soften into this space, soften into your heart space, your center. And give yourself more room to breathe. Being really aware of just dropping the shoulders down and away from the ears, collarbones wide. Okay, and then again, slowly we'll unwind, come back round to center. Extend both legs. Press into the fingertips, lift your heart, flex the feet. And then we're going to soften. And now you're going to come out with your legs nice and wide. You're going to keep the feet flexed this time so that your legs are really active in this pose. You can tilt your pelvis yourself. You could move the flesh from your bum away from your hip bones, and then you'll tilt yourself forward. You can stay up on hands here, that's okay. You might even sway just a little bit as we come into the pose, and then you'll find some stillness and stay in center. Some of you might come down a bit further onto forearms. You might come down to a pillow or some blocks. You might come all the way down, rest your head on the ground. We're all different. Just finding that shape that gives you some softening. We're keeping the legs active in this pose, so you're keeping the feet flexed. Backs of the knees can open up. There shouldn't be any pain. If you're feeling anything that feels like pain coming out of the pose, and you can always bend your knees a little bit if you need to, or sit up a bit taller. Otherwise, can you stay and just breathe here for another 2 minutes? And really think about the back space of your heart softening down towards the front. And you can even think about the heart chakra, Anahata chakra, being supported below by the Manipura, by your belly. So you can draw that gently in. And you can allow your heart to soften a little bit more. And it's not only the Manipura or solar plexus chakra you can be aware of, but in the last few weeks we've been thinking about sacral chakra, root chakra. Feeling supported by yourself, by your own energy and power, your own connection. If you don't have the music playing, then you bring the mantra to mind. I am loving awareness. And repeat that to yourself. I am loving awareness. Okay. You're going to start to slide your legs up so your knees bend nice and slowly. You're going to walk your feet over towards the right and drop your knees down. Then you're going to walk your hands over towards the left. Okay, so it's gentle twist, drop the knees down, reach the hands over towards the left, and then let your heart melt. Keep the back of the head spacious, back of the neck long. Gaze down. Okay, slowly start to walk your palms back in towards the knees. Bring your hands behind you and then bring the knees back up to center. Push into the palms, lift the chest up, breath in and breath out. Okay, and then we'll go to the other side. So you'll bring your feet over to the left, let your knees drop over to the right. Bring your hands over to the right. Try to find some release in the neck and the shoulders. Let your shoulders drop down. Keeping your gaze soft or your eyes closed. Okay, and then again you'll slide your hands back around to the front. Bring your knees back up. This time bring your feet in as close towards you as you can. Soles of the feet together. Heels in as close as you can. Keep pushing the feet against each other. Dropping the knees down and away and then lifting your heart towards the sky. Let your attention rest on your heart space. I am loving awareness. Keep pushing the feet against each other. Feeling the heart lift, shoulders drop down. 3 more breaths here. Really focus on heart space, breathing in space, feeling a lift. I am loving awareness. And then we'll slowly start to release the knees up towards each other. You're going to lower yourself all the way down to lie on your back and bring your knees in towards you. Okay, so if you lower all the way down to lie on your back, hug your knees in towards you. You might gently rock side to side there, or just stay in some stillness. And then from here, we're going to come into happy baby pose. So you'll bring your knees towards your armpits, your heels towards the sky. So you're bending your knees in towards your armpits, your heels towards the sky. And then have your hands either on the outsides of your feet or on the backs of your thighs, drawing them in. Maybe you can feel the back of your body really heavy towards the earth. And it might feel nice to start to extend the legs and draw your toes more in towards you, or you might prefer to keep the knees more bent. It's just finding your own comfortable space to be in, where you feel that not too much, not too little, but somewhere you can stay and breathe. We'll be here for 2 minutes. Okay, slowly, gently, you'll release your legs and place your feet on the ground with your knees bent. And just let your knees rest on each other. Let the low back totally release, relax. Just breathe here. Now is the time to put you first. Now is the time to love you first. Now is the time to trust you first. Now is the time to follow you first. Now is the time to bet on you first. And when you hesitate, the way you tend to do, remember that givers always give and often feel the weight of being there for everyone, even for people who don't deserve it. They don't deserve you more than you deserve you. So give you to you. Firstly, humbly, lovingly, and promptly. Now is the time to put you first. Okay, we're going to cross the right thigh on top of the left. Keep your arms out nice and wide like a T shape, and just heel toe your left foot over to the right a little bit more. And then let your knees drop over to the left. I'll just take a few breaths here with the shoulders relaxed. Nothing to force or push or hold. Just a sense of release now. Okay, one more breath there. You'll slowly come back up to center. Just uncross the legs. Bring your feet back towards being central, knees central to hips. And then cross the left thigh on top of the right. Heel toe that right foot over to the left. And then let your knees drop over to the right. Again, just a few breaths here to totally release. And then again, you'll bring your knees back up towards center, uncross your legs, bring your feet back towards being central, your knees central to hips, and then hug your knees in towards you and give yourself a big squeeze. And we're going to slide legs away when you're ready. We'll come down to Shavasana if you need a blanket or anything on top of you. If you have an eye pillow or anything you like to have for Shavasana. And let your eyes gently close. Jaw soften and relax. Allow your breath to flow in and out easily without force. Just flow. Allow the heart to soften towards the ground, to feel supported and connected. Okay, just stay exactly as you are for a little bit longer. I'm just going to read you something from Erin Hansen. I'm not sure the title of this one. I was the type of person that held on to things too tight, unable to release my grip when it no longer felt right. And although it gave me blisters and my fingers would all ache, I always thought that holding on was worth the pain it takes. I used to think in losing things, I'd lose a part of me too, that slowly I'd become someone my heart no longer knew. Then one day something happened. I dropped what I had once held dear, but my soul became much lighter instead of filled with fear. And it taught my heart that some things aren't meant to last for long. They arrive to teach you lessons, and they continue on. You don't have to cling to people who no longer make you smile, or do something you've come to hate if it isn't worth your while. But sometimes the thing you're fighting for isn't worth the cost, and not everything you ever lose is bound to be a loss. Okay, so I want you to slowly just start to wiggle your fingers and bring your hands towards each other, and just as we did at the beginning, stay lying down, but bring your hands to connect and rub your palms to create that warmth, energy, and that place that warmth on your belly, just on your navel again. Find that courage and confidence, strength, and just that reminder of that being there. And then again, bring your hands together, rub your palms. Place them over your heart. And you can allow these words to settle, or you can repeat them after me. I am kind to myself. I allow love to fill me up and guide me in all my actions. I am able to let go of the past, to forgive myself and others. I love myself and others fearlessly. I love myself and others fearlessly. Okay. And then last time, bring your hands together, rub your palms. Place your hands over your eyes, fingertips traveling up the forehead, and allow that warmth, energy to settle there. Be grateful to yourself for your practice. Okay, you'll reach your arms up and over your head when you're ready. Extend your fingers away from your toes. Full breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your knees in towards you. Make your way slowly over to your side. Again, as you're at home, you can stay for a bit longer in Shavasana if you want to. If you want to stay right there, that's okay. Otherwise, you'll make your way slowly up to a seat. And bring palms together just in front of your heart space. Just be okay with however you're feeling. Take it gently with yourself the next couple of days over the full moon. And just acknowledge how you feel. Let yourself open up to opportunity ahead. The opportunity to move into your next phase, wherever that might lead you. But going there, feeling lighter. Breathe in, reach the arms up, open your eyes. And breathe out, bring them down. Namaste, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you soon, hopefully.